Today is Wednesday, October 27th, 2021. Let's take a look at the morning trading that I did today. Um, Pretty somewhat kind of a slow trend upwards for the trading hours that I trade from market open until about 2 hours after the first 2 hours or so of the market. My time on the Pacific, on the West Coast, is from 6:30 to about 9 or so. And so it's kind of what the morning looked like, but let's zoom into the market open. We did have a sweet spot buy signal on the first bar of the market open. Um, I've been staying away from that lately just because it's a nasty, nasty drug to play with, that the market open, because as you can see, it can whip back pretty quickly. If I would have taken this, I would have been stopped out right away. But something else that did keep me out of that trade was the S&P. So as you can see over here on the left side of my screen, at market open, the S&P was in a sell signal, downtrend, and a lot of red in the chart, and it actually followed through a decent amount, and so that kept me out of that trade. If this sell signal would have broke support, 2 minute and 3 minute support, I would have been all in on that. I totally would have taken that trade. It would have been in line with the S&P, but it didn't, and obviously thank goodness it did not. Um, First trade that I took was, as you can see, price came down, tested these support levels, bounced off, and we got a buy signal right here. I went in right there. Let's see what that bar was at, 42, 43. I don't think I had a buy signal on the S&P at that time, but price had gone from red bars to green bars and had really accelerated to the upside. So I like that. We didn't break this support, so I went right here. I went back to trading regular NASDAQ contracts, not the minis. Um, not the micros. I went back to the minis, and so a little added risk. And so I didn't love, where my stop was. I limit my stop to 15 points, and if I were to have it all the way down here, that would have been a massive stop, and I just didn't like, long bar, how far away the 1 minute support dots were, and so on this particular trade, I went ahead and just locked in 15 points once I got it, which was at 35. We broke above 35 right here. I locked it in, and I thought, I was like, whoa, we got kind of this range expansion right here. Maybe we'll just continue upwards and I can kind of ride this one up. Didn't happen. Next bar came down and stopped me out for about 15 points. As you can see, that kind of trend just kind of hung around there and it didn't continue onward. So, hindsight's 2020, but that was a good decision. Next trade would have been right in this area as price came down. Price bars turned red, signaling a downtrend and sell signal. But the sell signal would not have been until right here at 79 once price went beneath 2 minute support here, but didn't break below 3 minute support until this price bar. And I just don't love, with trading the bigger contract, I look for the least risky trade setups that I can. And this does not, I would not consider this the least risky type of entry right here. Resistant bars are all the way up here at 35. I mean, we're looking at 50 or so, 55 points of risk if I were to, trade the chart all the way up here. I like to have with the bigger contracts, 15-point stop. So I'm right here, and it's just not giving this trade enough room to move. As we know, trading AbleTrend charts, price does love to come back up to these dots, and so the further away the dots, more likely price will return back to those dots. An additional thing that I looked at this time, let's see where we are in the 705 range. Did get a sell signal right around the same time on the S&P, but man, we came right up to 15-minute support, and I just don't like taking a trade when it was, I think it was 4 or 5 points away from support. And as you can see, that's kind of why price just bounced around right here. And so obviously hindsight's 2020, but that was a good decision. But those were the factors that I considered to make that decision. Far away from resistance, or sorry, yeah, far away from resistant dots on the 1 minute. So that's where my stop should be. Taking that into consideration along with being right up against 15-minute support. 15-minute chart was on a buy signal almost all day. And so with all that, I decided to forego that trade. And I actually did not take any other trades today. We kind of bounced around here. If we had to have come down and get another sell signal right here, I would have been all in on that. Those are my preferred setups, is when we get this, we get a trend change on the 2-minute, 3-minute chart, come back up, test some of those resistance, then come back down, give me a 1-minute sell signal, I'm all in. Love that trade. Next trade would have been right here. Just didn't like how we were just kind of bouncing around, a lot of green bars, and then we just get this big volume, kind of into the market, big range expansion. Should have been in right here. As you can see, it didn't work out, but I just didn't like that big bar. I didn't like that entry. Next trade would have been right here. I just did not take it today. I just kind of called it a day after I got that first win. Obviously, this one would not have worked out also, but in at 51, got a high of 63 and change, but would have been stopped out down in this area. Bounced around quite a bit again. Next trade would have come at, let's see, at 8.55 at 54 and a quarter. Came down to 38 pretty quickly, but then bounced off of that and then continued upward nicely. And just kind of a real slow grind upwards from there. But that would have been another trade. But I did not take that one today. So, I'll take it. Not a great morning, nothing like yesterday, but I'll take the win when I can get it. Just wanted to zoom over to the market close and look at this beautiful downtrend at the market close. Would have been in this area once we started to see that 3-minute print. Probably would have been stopped out if I were to have my stop at the second level of red dots. Stopped out there for a small loss, maybe a 5-point loss, back in at 94.5. Stop I like to do on these at a point above the high of that bar. So 10-point or so stop, 94.5. Came close, got a little heat, didn't touch, and then just fell out of bed. Almost had 100 points on it. Easily would have hit a 50-point profit target. So that was a nice downtrend at the end of the day. But I don't like to trade that time. I like to just do my morning trading and call it a day. I find that the least amount of time I spend in the market, the better. Protects myself from myself, or I should say protects my capital from myself and from over trading. So that's it. That was trading in the NASDAQ for Wednesday, October 27th, 2021.